Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Here we will continue the 10 proofs which are exposing atheism. Atheism is the opium of the morals. Your belief that there is no life after death is the greatest drug against morals and ethics. Atheism is the real opium of the people. Atheism offers a great consolation to all criminals, murderers, and adulterers, for there is neither a charge leveled against them or any accountability. With this poisoning of values, rape becomes a neutral act. And this is how Richard Dawkins describes rape. Your belief that rape is wrong is an arbitrary conclusion within atheism. From where do you get the concept that rape is wrong or chastity is better? The first gift of atheism to you is that it rips the tranquility from your heart and then takes away meaning, purpose, and values. And then, with utmost calm, it claims that you are a rock among the other rocks, merely stardust, a mass of impure carbon. Human being hasn't made to fit the model of physical nature, and he cannot be assimilated, understood over the model of atheism. The existence of the universe is the greatest proof against atheism. If you observe it, a mysteriously complex device with a special functionality, you will reach to conclusive intellectual evidence that this device is created and not be a chaotic coincidence. This universe is a huge, complex device that was found suddenly from no time and no space, and it carries within it the physical constants. If any of these constants became defective, we wouldn't be here to discuss these issues.
On the other hand, this cosmological constant is tuned to 1 part and 10 to the 120 decimal places. Nobody thinks that's accidental. That is not a reasonable idea, that something is tuned to 120 decimal places just by accident. That's the most extreme example of fine-tuning.
No force in the history of cosmology has ever been discovered to be that finely tuned. The cosmological constant needs to be set to 1 part in a trillion. Otherwise the universe would be so drastically different that it would be impossible for us to evolve. That the cosmological constant arrived at such a tiny value by chance seemed to be out of the question.
This is a proof that a believer is the most rational being when he believes in the Creator, according to the evidences presented. Religion is to look for the intellectual proofs, for the truth, and finding them. Atheism is to deny that there is justification for anything and claim that this is a rational approach. Atheists may tell you that there are perhaps multiple universes, and this is an absurd idea. The concept of multiple universes is a hypothesis without evidence to back it up. Secondly, is it logical to assume that the existence of billions of other universes in order to evade the religious obligation that comes with our existence? Thirdly, as Christendom says, if you tried sinking the fish across all the oceans, it would continue to exist and move. You don't bring anything to the table by assuming the existence of multiple universes, except that you will come up with higher evidences. Every new universe is an addition to deeper proofs of precise creation. The assumption of multiverse is like when I ask you, from where this boy came? You answer me, he has other brothers. Coding and decoding of DNA. Every cell in your body and in the bodies of other organisms contain the strands of DNA. This strand consists of a series of letters side by side, reaching billions. In a human, for example, each cell contains 3 to 4 billion letters. Each set of letters makes up the code that generates the protein we need. Your skin is made up of protein found within each cell of your body. The retina in your eye is also a protein that is found inside DNA. The same thing can be said about all the organs and functions of your body. DNA is coded using the 4 letters CGTA. These codes have a specific sequence in order to form a specific protein. And even if a single letter within this code is out of order, then we will not have the required protein. Allah said in the Quran, هَذَا خَلْقُ اللَّهِ فَأَرُونِي مَاذَا خَلَقَ الَّذِينَ مِن دُونِهِ بَلِ الظَّالِمُونَ فِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. This is the creation of Allah. So show me what those other than Him have created. Rather, The wrongdoers are in clear error. And after the protein manufactured, it takes a three-dimensional shape. The three-dimensional form of protein gives it functional specialization. The probability of the appearance of a three-dimensional form by chance is a fancy, and this three-dimensional form of protein cannot be expected from the code letters it forms. The enzymes that copy the protein code, the cleansing and cooling down enzymes after transcription, the protection and safety enzymes during the transfer of the strand to the factory, the enzyme is used for the formation of the three-dimensional pattern of the protein. All of these enzymes are also found in other parts of DNA. The process is precisely regulated. How do some codes of proteins written on DNA turn into human being with different organs? How do letters become flesh, blood, bone organs, eye, kidney, liver, and reproductive system? How the decoding produces what I need? The world around is morally neutral and innocent. There is no material concept of morality. The table in front of you is not good or evil. The animals in the garden are neither honest nor liars. There is no physical concept of ethics. There isn't a single atom inside your brain or that of Hitler goes against the laws of nature. The whole world around you is morally neutral, but you aren't morally neutral. You have moral values within you that make you a human. Ethics are a proof that we are morally obligated. Proof that there is a divine obligation inside every human being. Proof that we have a heavenly origin and we aren't merely a product of the matter. Ethics are just like a human being, above and beyond nature and matter. If a man was merely an animal, his life would have been simple, free of mysteries, mystical rites, beliefs and symbols. An animal knows nothing about any of this. The existence of immaterial morality is yet another proof on the error of atheism. Existence of the prophets. All goodness in existence has come into being due to the messengers. Without messengers and the message sent to them, and without the belief in prophets, all the moral values will be in vain. Without the faith in the prophets, man becomes a mere stardust with no value. The world simply doesn't derive its value from itself. Allah says in the Quran, وَمَنْ يَرْغَبُ عَنْ مِلَّةِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ إِلَّا مَنْ سَفِهَ نَفْسَهُ. And who would be averse to the religion of Abraham except one who makes a fool of himself? And the degree of authenticity of the message depends on nothing more than the truthfulness of the messenger. The messenger is either the most truthful of the people or the worst of liars among them. Only the most ignorant will be confused by this matter, cannot differentiate between the most truthful and the worst liar. Verifying and validating the message's authenticity is an easy affair. And Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, wasn't known to have lied, even once during his lifetime. All disbelievers failed to find a single lie in the entire life of Muhammad, peace be upon him, in all of his narrations, incidents, and situations. People said to him on the first day of his prophethood, "We have never known you to lie. We haven't found you telling anything other than the truth." He was famous even before his prophethood as the faithful and true. This is also mentioned in the book of Revelation. The coming prophet is called faithful and true. The miracles of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, are in thousands. These miracles are not so far, and those who told about them are the most honest men, and they have the best morals ever, companions of Muhammad. They never permit any lies about him. Miracles reached the recurrence level that no one can deny that this miracle happened according to the rule of authenticating the historic events. The miracle of increasing food, Bukhari narrated this miracle like 5 times in his honest version, as this miracle is very great, and hundreds of companions saw it with their own eyes. The miracle of the water started flowing among the Prophet's fingers, and all the people performed ablution with that water and drank. They were like 300 companions. The Prophet Muhammad calls for faith in one God, and this is the doctrine advocated by all the prophets, and only the Muslims are the ones who follow this doctrine to this day. All evidences lead us to the fact that Islam is the real truth all over the world. These are signs that the wise person must believe in Islam, the religion that God has set for mankind. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. The greatest word in this existence. Believing in one God, believing in Islam and Messenger Muhammad. And I want you to learn about Islam through reading the Noble Quran, the message of God to human being. The translation of the Quran is in the description of the video. And you can read my book, Renounce Your Atheism. It's linked also in description. And you can chat with Muslims online to provide you the purpose of life. Chat a link below in description. May Allah guide you to that which is good for you. Ameen. Peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum.
ذلك بأن الله هو الحق وأنه يحيي الموتى وأنه على كل شيء قدير.
That is because Allah is the truth, and because He gives life to the dead, and because He is over all things competent.
وأن الساعة آتية لا ريب فيها وأن الله يبعث من في القبور.
And that they may know that the hour is coming, no doubt about it, and that Allah will resurrect those in the graves.
ومن الناس من يجادل في الله بغير علم ولا هدى ولا كتاب منير.
And of the people is he who disputes about Allah without knowledge or guidance or an enlightening book from Him.
ثاني عطفه ليضل عن سبيل الله له في الدنيا خزي ونذيقه يوم القيامة عذاب الحريق.
Twisting his neck in arrogance to mislead people from the way of Allah. For him in the world is disgrace, and we will make him taste on the day of resurrection the punishment of the burning fire, while it is said,
ذلك بما قدمت يداك وأن الله ليس بظلام للعبيد.
That is for what your hands have put forth, and because Allah is not ever unjust to His servants.
ومن الناس من يعبد الله على حرف فإن أصابه خير اطمأن به وإن أصابته فتنة انقلب على وجهه خسر الدنيا والآخرة ذلك هو الخسران المبين.
And of the people is he who worships Allah on an edge. If he is touched by good, he is reassured by it. But if he is struck by trial, he turns on his face to the other direction. He has lost this world and the hereafter. That is what is the manifest loss.
يدعو من دون الله ما لا يضره وما لا ينفعه ذلك هو الضلال البعيد.
He invokes instead of Allah that which neither harms him nor benefits him. That is what is the extreme error.
يدعو لمن ضره أقرب من نفعه لبئس المولى ولبئس العشير.
He invokes one whose harm is closer than his benefit. How wretched the protector and how wretched the associate.
إن الله يدخل الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار إن الله يفعل ما يريد.
Indeed, Allah will admit those who believe and do righteous deeds to gardens beneath which rivers flow. Indeed, Allah does what He intends.